Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be trying out a lot of different makeup. If you guys did not see my Sephora haul, I highly recommend checking it out. I mentioned a ton of new products that I purchased and I'm going to be using quite a bit of them in this video today. We might have a full face. We don't have brows. Well, actually, yes, we might have a full face minus brows. I feel like I haven't done a full face of new makeup in a really long time, so that's what we're going to be doing today. If you guys are excited, definitely give this video a thumbs up. So if you guys want to see all these products in action, then let's just go ahead and get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to apply this new Beauty Counter Control Matte Effect Gel Cream. So this is oil free. I had mentioned in the video that I would use this whenever I use makeup because it is a little bit more expensive. It's supposed to help keep you matte and it's also supposed to help with your pore size and all of that. So I'm just applying this to my skin, and as we do our eye makeup, because we're going to do eye makeup first, we'll kind of just let it sit and see if it does anything. It had decent reviews. It's a pretty new product on Sephora, but I've never tried anything from this brand before, so I'm excited to see how it works. It's kind of starting to dry down. I could definitely feel it. The packaging of this is really nice. It has a good weight to it, like it's super heavy, so I'm excited to try this and see how it works on my skin. So the first thing we're going to do is prime. I'm using the Smashbox Photo Finish Lid Primer per usual, and we're just gonna put that on with our fingers. So today I am using the Natasha Denona bronze palette that I purchased in my last video. I hope it just works out for me. You know, there's not a lot of matte shades in it, but I'm hoping I can figure out what to do. So the Natasha Denona bronze palette, this is what she looks like. Pretty as always. I feel like I've had this palette before. Okay, I see where I'm getting myself confused. So you have the bronze palette, but I thought, see, you have the sunset palette. The sunset palette came out like, I don't know how long ago, but they're definitely different. Definitely different. I like this packaging better. I feel like it looks more sleek. I guess people didn't like that it got dirty. I kind of love it. I don't have the bronze palette, so I didn't double purchase. Thank the Lord, because I would have been really mad at myself. All right, the first color I'm gonna take is Beach right here, and I'm just gonna set my entire lid with this. Just to, okay, never mind. I'm using that as a transition color. I thought it wouldn't be so dark, but it's definitely dark. So we're just gonna go ahead and blend that right into that crease, and hopefully all of that just blends out really well because I was not expecting it to be that dark. So I'm going in and just really working that out. I was thinking it could be like a lighter skin tone color and I could set the primer. It's normally what I do, but we're just gonna do it differently today. Definitely has quite a bit of kick up, as you can see, but it's a softer formula and it does blend really well. The first brush that I used was a little bit more dense, and this one has a little bit more give to it. So I could see the difference in like how it blends. So we're just doing like circular motions all over, kind of taking it out under that outer V. Just gonna try to fix this side. Swirl and work that color. Oh my gosh, you guys remember when the no mirror makeup challenge was like a thing? I did it and I was actually pretty impressed with my results. I miss those old like YouTube challenges, YouTube days of us just like doing weird challenges. There's really not too much you can do, I feel like. We'll go on with suntan and a $10 brush, and I'm just going to take that color, put that right into, ow, the crease. I hate when the brush does that. So right in there. It's a pretty color. Just helps deepen it up without being like too dark. I am just kind of blending it down as well. We'll probably go over it, but I just still want to kind of make sure I blend down and it's all even. I am going to take it right in this inner corner as well. That is such a pretty color. These are blending really well too. I'm very impressed as always. I like Natasha Denona products. They are expensive, but they're good. And if you follow her Instagram, ooh, it's so pretty. I'm going to take a brush. I have my Cinema Secrets over here in a little jar, and I'm kind of like cleaning brushes as I go. But I'm gonna go in with Deep Dive. I'm gonna do something a little bit different, and I'm gonna do like a smoked out wing. And I'm gonna use this Luxie 221 flat definer brush. So we're gonna go straight into it. This looks like a shimmer. I could be wrong. I completely just like doused my brush in there though. I don't know if you guys can tell. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this brush to take this out and drag it up and in. It's a really pigmented color, like wow. I'm just gonna line this upper lash line, but we're gonna blend it out. I can't tell if this is matte or shimmer. It has like a sheen, I think. Yeah, a bit of a sheen. And it's not black, it's just very like a very deep plummy brown. And what I'm gonna do is just build this up, get the spots where I'm kind of missing, like right here, fill that in. Since we are doing eyes first, don't be too afraid if your wing is not perfect. You can go in and clean it up with a makeup remover, so it should be fine. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a clean brush and I'm just going to run this over that and blend it out, make it nice and smoky. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eye. So pigmented. Again, with no extra product, I'm just taking that brush and going over it, slightly above it, and blending that out. Before I move on, I am gonna go ahead and take a flat brush like this one, the MAC 242. And we're gonna go in with the shimmer shade. I think I wanna go in with True Copper. It's really, really pretty. I'll go in with True Copper with this brush, and I'm gonna apply this to my lid. I'm going over a little bit of that smokiness that we created, like that. Same with the other eye. Going like right up into the crease. You can kind of see it just kind of cleaned up a little bit of that line, and then we're going to go over it just a tiny bit with the same brush, no additional product. That way it's still kind of smoky, but this kind of helps clean it up. Does that make sense? So you don't have to be like as careful. We all know I don't like to be too careful, all right, when it comes to makeup. I'm just gonna take a setting spray and I'm gonna go back into that color after spraying it and just pack it on here in the center. Just like that. Clean that brush off a little bit. We're gonna take Silk in the palette, which is this one right here. And I'm just gonna have this pop like right in the center, but I am going to spray my brush with it. Go into Silk. I just got it in my mouth. And we're gonna take that right in here to make it just pop ever so slightly. You could also do your fingers too if you wanted to. If you feel like that's easier, that's totally fine. Just like that. Going to go back in with the brush that we used to blend out the darker shade, and I'm going to go back over the same areas and lightly blending out and just taking my time with this like that. I am going to go back in with the brush that we used suntan with, and I'm just ever so slightly gonna blend right in here just to kind of clean up a little bit, kind of connect those two areas together. And then we're gonna take a makeup remover and we're gonna clean this up, following the lower lash line, shaping it up, and then I'm getting whatever excess is underneath the eyes as well. I can't decide which lash that I want to use. We have these Babbie and Extra, and then we have the Lily Lashes in Mink NYC. So I'm gonna play with these, see which one I wanna wear. I'll let you know when I come back, but I'm gonna put these on and then I will be back and we will start with our face. So I ended up going with the Babbie lashes, and now we're gonna move on to the fun part, which is the face products. I love trying new face products. So first thing we're gonna do is take the Dior Face and Body Primer. This is a sample that I got from Sephora. So we're just gonna apply this all over. I don't know how much was enough and how much is too much, but we're just gonna hope for the best because it seems like not a lot's coming out. Maybe that'll work. Smells really good. So we're gonna rub this one in. So far feels really nice and smooth and like hydrating, but not like overly hydrating. It feels really nice. I feel like I have to let this sit for just a second though. And then we're actually gonna try a new drugstore foundation. This is the J Cat Beauty Skin Assurance Max Coverage Silky Foundation. This one's in the shade Cappuccino. I think this one will work for me. I haven't really tested this out at all. Long-lasting foundation delivers luminous natural glow, leaving the skin silky and smooth. Tea leaf extract, hyaluronic acid, hydrolyzed collagen, and then polyphenol. I don't know. It says it calms inflamed skin because of the tea tree. I got that. Hydrates, smooths and softens, moisturizes, reduces fine lines, anti-aging, and promotes healthy skin. So we will see. It's just in a plastic container. And we're going to be using this Colourpop Pretty Fresh sponge. This is big. It got big when I put it underwater. I'm going to be using the butt side of the sponge. I feel like this primer is pretty set, so we're just going to go ahead and put this on the skin. I don't know. It's kind of weird it being flat. Maybe I'm just not holding it right. And we're just going to press this all in here. It's definitely got a really large bottom, so I'm gonna be careful around my eye makeup. I'm not loving it with a sponge. I feel like it's not that full coverage. Like you can still see a lot of my redness and like pigmentation right here. I like max amount of coverage always. I am gonna mix a little bit of this mocha too, just to add a little bit more deepness because it is just a little bit too light for me. I'm gonna take a pause from that sponge. I don't think it's a bad sponge at all, but it's pretty large. and we're going to use this It Cosmetics Airbrush Complexion Brush, one of my favorite brushes. Kind of mix all of this together, and then we're just going to apply to the skin and press it. Yeah, that added just a little bit more color. One thing I like about this packaging is as you use it, it pushes up the product, which I really like that. I think that is so nice. I love being able to actually see how much product is being used and like where I'm at in my foundation. I feel like a brush is definitely the way to go. You get a little bit more coverage. I'm gonna try to take some of this over here on my cheek. Yeah, that just like instantly helped cover up some of that. So I would probably prefer a brush with this one if you want like the max amount of coverage. And I like to always kind of press and move the foundation to blend it in, but also get the most out of the product. I'm gonna get it right here in my eyebrows. Take this down my neck. Let me get a mirror to look up close. I think it looks pretty good. My nose is a little bit iffy, so let's just see if I can kind of conceal that a little bit better. See if a sponge will kind of help us out. Yeah, it's not one to cover the redness on my nose very much, which I hate when that happens. Like I need my nose to be covered as well. And so I'm just kind of taking a sponge all over the foundation. It's not terrible. I do like the color though. Like mixing those two colors was kind of perfect for me, so that's nice. Now we're gonna go in with the, here it is, Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin High Coverage Multi-Use Concealer. This is a shade 2.6, and I'm going to just apply this like I normally would. A ton of product comes out on this, so it's like, ooh, hopefully I don't like waste all of that. It seems pretty thick. It reminds me of Tarte Shape Tape, to be honest, like formula wise. I'm gonna use that same Colourpop sponge, blend this out. So I'm being careful right here. Sponge is probably not gonna be my thing. I'm gonna just blend out the rest of this with my brush. It's like coverage is being taken away right now. All right, let's try this side. Again with a brush, being very careful around the eye makeup as I poke myself in the eye. That side turned out way better. This side, what is going on? I'm so confused as to what is going on right now. You know, a lot of this like stuff kind of moving could also be because of the primer. It's one of those things where I'll have to try out the primer with something else, like my favorite foundations that I know really well, and see if my other stuff moves, because it could be that. It could be that the foundation's just not covering really well. It could be that this concealer's just not working for me. You know, there's so many factors when you're trying out like a full face of makeup, so it's hard to just judge one thing. But I think the concealer is gonna be nice once I get my regular base products. I'm gonna take a smaller brush and we are going to blend this out right in here. I'm gonna take a regular brush with like no other product on it and just press everything in. This is a Luxie, yeah, a Luxie 832, right? Yes, 832. It's more rounded, so I'm just kind of going over everything, trying to press it all in. So I feel like nothing is like actually sitting on the skin really well. It's just like on top of the primer. I'm really thinking the primer is a problem, to be honest, because the concealer has really good coverage and the foundation does too so far. Just nothing's wanting to like stay in place, so we'll have to see. Let's set this thing though before it really comes off my face. So I'm taking the Pretty Vulgar, the Powder Room. I used to love this powder so much. I think I want to use a brush. I'm a little terrified to use that sponge again because I don't think the sponge is really working for me either. So I'm just going to take the same brush and we're just going to press everything in. We're going to hope to the makeup gods that this just sets in place. I always like to push my powders in, even just like with my regular products. I like to press with the sponge because I find that it's just the safest way to do it. You know what I mean? Let's move on to bronzer. I feel like we were here for a minute. I'm going to be using, let's see, this Charlotte Tilbury bronzer in shade 2. This is the Sigma Contour Blush F53 Air. This is like one of their newer brushes that they came out with, and I love it for like bronzing and contouring because it gives you like that contour look just because the shape of it. And these bristles are really nice because they're not like densely packed, so you really have room to just blend everything. Oh, I love this color. This is so much better. When I had used the 3 in another video, it was too much. It was like this too much. This one looks like a really nice tan, sun-kissed glow. I love this freaking brush. That looks really nice. I am just, you know, bronzing everything else because it needs it right now. I am going to use this bronzer with this little brush. I think this is a really cheap brush I got like at a dollar website, and I'm going to contour my nose. Then we're going to take our Duo Fiber brush and do a little blending kind of all over. Be a little bit gentle since we don't know if things are going to move. I feel like I did kind of a copper look in one of my last videos, and if I did, you know, I'm very sorry. I just they're my tones, you know? They're my tones. All right, let's get into blush. I forgot to use this Patrick Ta cream blush and regular blush. I'm gonna use the powder blush now, but I forgot to use the cream, so I'm just gonna have to test that out later. This is in the shade She's That Girl, and I'm just going to press this into the skin. It's a really pretty like flush. And then I have this, I never used this. Ooh, I love that blush too. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take a little bit of this contour shade right here, and I'm just gonna do a little bit right in there just to really snatch it a little bit more, you know, under my lip always, and then my jaw. And then I'm looking at this blush and I just want a little bit of it. So I'm gonna take this peachy blush. This looks really pretty and I'm just gonna, you know, do a little mixing those two colors together is actually really nice. So I have this from Ofra. This is the Covent Garden. Doesn't look like it's really gonna go with our look, but we're gonna try it and just see. I'm gonna use this little fan brush. Believe it or not, I haven't really had like the best luck with Ofra highlighters because I feel like they emphasize my texture. That looks really pretty, but the color doesn't go with the look. So we're gonna have to fix that. But this, like this side looks good, but I have a little bit of texture on this side and it's not working for me. So I'm gonna press that, try to blend it out, and we're gonna go in with my baby. This is the Wet n Wild Loose highlighter in the shade I'm So Lit. These are so good. If you can get a Wet n Wild Loose highlighter, highly recommend doing it because they are bomb. I'm taking it from the cap because you don't need more than that. I mean, it's just so much. I'm gonna take some on my brow too, so we're just gonna kind of plop it up here. Wet n Wild ones don't emphasize texture as bad as a lot of other high-end ones, and you can blend them out really easily. So I really enjoy the Wet n Wild highlighters. They are super intense and just really fun to work with. I've always loved them. They give you a really pretty glow. I take whatever's left on my brush and go down the nose, here, a little there, a little everywhere. I'm gonna go take my blush brush real quick and just touch that and then blend. All right, now I'm gonna do my brows. This will be really simple. I'm gonna use the brow blade from Urban Decay. So you guys have seen this before. I don't have a new brow product, so I'm just gonna speed through this bad boy. All right, guys, now we're going to finish up our waterline, lower lash line, all of that. I'm gonna take this Pat McGrath Extreme Black Permagel Ultra Glide eye pencil and put this on my lower lash line, or waterline, I'm sorry. Look at how black that is. Oh my gosh. Oof, intense. Taking the Natasha Denona palette, I'm gonna go in with Suntan, and I'm just gonna push this up against that lower lash line. Then we're gonna take a pencil liner and use the shade Beach, and we're gonna blend that out. I dragged mine down pretty far, but as always, it is up to you guys if you want your lower lash line to be that smoky. Now I'm going to put mascara on my bottom lashes. I'm just gonna use this Pat McGrath Dark Star mascara. I just like ever so slightly put mascara on my bottom lashes because I don't like them to be too crazy, so I always run over it with my finger just to like clean it up a little bit. Then for lips, we're gonna take another Pat McGrath product. This is the Permagel Ultra Lip Pencil in Buff. Then we are using Melt Cosmetics Gwendolyn all over the lip. Ugh. So pretty. That is such a pretty color. It doesn't necessarily go with the look, but I'm gonna add a little bit of golden on there. So I'm taking that same Melt liquid lip, but I'm taking golden and I'm putting some of that on top. Yes, much, much better. I was thinking of adding a gloss, but I think I'm just gonna leave it as is because I like that all of this kind of matches my t-shirt. That was not planned, but I'm here for it. I do like it. I think everything looks really good now that we're at the end of the tutorial. I was a little nervous there when we were at the face products. I didn't know exactly how it was gonna go, but I feel like right now it's all looking really good. I think my favorite product off the bat is this one, the shade number 2. I think this is perfect. It just makes my tan look more natural and it just looks like a sun-kissed tan. It's just really, really pretty. I also did love the blushes that I used as well. I really like my lip color as well. I have to say I really like the eyeshadow palette too. I don't think it's anything crazy, anything special. It's definitely been done before, but it is really pretty. Her formula is really nice and they blend really, really well. So far, everything looks really nice. I love the lip color with the eyes, and I think golden is a fun shade to have. The one that I used on top of this, just to kind of lighten up and, you know, make it a little bit more warm to go with different looks. I think that color is going to be one of those things that I use all the time to kind of customize my own lip shade. So again, just a super smoky look. When I have the opportunity to do a smoky eye while filming, I shall take advantage of that. So I do like the way that this looks, and I will keep you guys updated on the primer and foundation. Like I said, I think the primer is definitely something I'm gonna have to work with. And then of course I need to keep you guys updated on this too and see like if that really helps. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you like the makeup look as well. Let me know if there's anything in here that you're gonna try. I definitely recommend the bronzer. I mean, this is like a ginormous size, so it is expensive, but you get a huge product, 0.56 ounces in it. It's nice. So thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!